Welcome to the Academy of Fifth Dimensional. Well, welcome to the Fifth Dimensional Academy of Higher Consciousness. Today is March 22nd, and I'm broadcasting live from Stockholm, Sweden. Well, once again, we're all here. I'm happy that I see all your beautiful faces. And just a quick update. I did arrive yesterday to Stockholm, and I was shocked by the fact that it's 30 degrees Fahrenheit colder than Los Angeles. And then I went for a walk this afternoon, which actually I needed it. And that temperature difference woke me up because normally when I get here, I'm a little bit jet lagged. So I needed that cold air. But the good part is that it's sunny and it's not windy, which is really a blessing. So anyway, it's nice to be back here. I'm back at my same place, the apartment I rent. And it feels going from one home to another home. So I like that part of it. Anyway, I'm wondering that if anyone has any questions for me today. Ms. Shishi, is anyone asking questions? No? I can't hear you. You're muted.
No, I didn't get any questions.
No. Anything on the Academy page?
No.
On Facebook? No, nothing on that. Okie dokie. So, all right, since we don't have any questions so far, then why don't we just jump into it right away and start with a meditation? Any requests on meditations from anyone? No? Nothing? Maria?
The pineal gland. Is that the meditation or?
Yeah, you want to do the third eye meditation?
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds good. I'm in it for it. We can do that. Okay. So the third eye meditation is that you bring your attention here on your third eye, and you want to imagine that you're breathing in from here. And there's a tunnel, means the air goes straight deep inside your head. The tunnel goes straight in as you breathe in. So you're breathing in and the air goes in all the way to the center of your brain. And as you breathe out, the air goes up. It hits the interior part of the skull. So the air goes up, hits the interior part of the skull, and it falls down. And as it falls down, the air never goes out, and it cools off your head. And it's an imagination. So you breathe in, the air goes in, you breathe out, the air goes up, hits the interior part of the skull, and it falls down. And as it falls down, you imagine that your head, your brain is cooling off. You're imagining a feel of minty feeling. Okay? So let's try it. It's very simple. You breathe in from here, the air goes in, and you breathe out, the air goes up, hits the interior part of your skull, which is here, and the air falls down and it cools you off. Again, you do the same thing. So you do this breathing. So anybody has any questions? Have a hard time getting it? Those of you on the Zoom, you can raise your hand if you have a problem with it. No? Okay. So let's do it. Close your eyes. Bring your attention on your third eye and just gently breathe in. I'll do it exaggerated way so you can hear me. I breathe in and I breathe out. And the air goes up and then it falls down. At no point the air comes out of your head. Everything is staying inside. You breathe in, you breathe out. You breathe in, you breathe out. Okay? So again, close your eyes and take a breathe in and breathe out. Again, breathe in and breathe out. You keep breathing in from your third eye and you breathe out. You breathe in from your third eye and you breathe out. Remember, you breathe in from your third eye, the air goes all the way in, and then when you breathe out, the air goes up, hits the interior part of your skull, and air falls down and cools off your head. So you just keep your attention on your breathing. And it's normal if you feel sensations in this part of your head. You may hear cracks or some tingling, some movement. You may experience something is crawling inside your head. That's normal. You're gently breathing in and out from your third eye. And you keep doing your third eye activation meditation. Keeping your attention on one point. Keeping your attention on your third eye. And as you're having your attention on one point, effortlessly. The outside world begin to disappear. So you're just doing your third eye activation meditation. You're breathing in and out from your third eye. And at this point, I would like you to imagine that there's, from your third eye, there's like a ball of light. You see a ball of light in your head, on your third eye. And this light starts to expand. And it's filling up your head with light. Your entire head is filled up with light. And now this light is expanding. And it's taking over your whole body. And it's taken over your body. Your whole body is light now. Your pure light. As this light is expanding. There's a sense that all is well. Everything is taken care of. There's nothing to worry about. You're surrounded by light. It's coming from within you. It's all around you. You're taken care of. It's warm. It's comforting. And it's coming from yourself. You're the source of light. You're the source of love. It's coming from you. You're originating this. And this light, this love that is emanating from you has taken over your house, your apartment, and it's ever expanding. It keeps expanding throughout your surrounding, and it keeps going and going. It's taking over the city and the region that you live in. Yet the entire time it's coming from you. And there's a sense that all is well, everything is taken care of. As your mind disappears and the light takes over, there's a very strong sense that all is well, everything is taken care of, and you're in good hands. Everything is taken care of. All is well. Now you're feeling calm, collected. You're back in your center. Slowly, slowly, you can come back. Slowly, slowly, you can come back to your body. Come back to this state of being, this presence. Come back here. You come back to your center. Okay. So when we go in a deep meditation and we do the work, we recognize and we discover a place here within ourselves. We touch a place in ourselves. Our attention, as the mind quiets down, there's an expansion. Something begins to open up. The heart opens. The mind quiets down. The mind, it's kind of like you're going from here beyond the mind. That's one way of explaining it. Or you're going from here to the heart. There's different ways of explaining it. However you like, you can explain it that way. But a phenomena is taking place. The mind quiets down. As the mind quiets down, as if you are looking at the sun, you're looking in the sky, and the clouds starts to go away. Clouds go away. Now you can see the sun, you can see the blue sky. Things clear up. A clarity takes place. But when the clouds are in between you and looking at the sky, so you have a lot of clouds, there's fog, there's rain, there's storm. That's equivalent to mind, which is very busy. There's a lot of busyness happening, a lot of thoughts, a lot of worry. There's uncertainty. There's thoughts about your past. You did this, you did that. You made this mistake, you made that mistake. Somebody betrayed you, somebody lied to you, somebody left you. You lost money in your bad investments. So your mind is entangled with past, which is in your memory. There are thoughts coming from your memory. That's what past is. A bundle of thoughts in your memory. That's what it is. Or you go into the future, an uncertain future that you have no idea what is going to happen, and you make projections. You're projecting on the future stuff. Well, this may happen, that will happen, whatever it is. Again, you go outside of here, at this place, you either go in the past or you go into the future. And that only happens in the mind. Only. And there are thoughts. You get lost into the world of thoughts. And you go into projecting about future, tomorrow, next week. Oh, I have, in 2 days, I have to go to the court and I need to be dealing with this issue, or I have to deal with, let's say, my ex that I'm fighting over my child and I need to get the custody of my child, or I need to go to the court because of this issue or that issue, or I don't know what's going to happen in the future. I'm losing my job and I don't know how I'm going to be making any money, or I don't know what's going to happen in the future because of all the news I'm getting about we're going to run out of oil, gas, petroleum in the future, and what's going to happen, what kind of world we're going to have, or the air is going to be polluted, and or the sun or the protection of the layers against the sun are going away and we're all going to die from skin cancer, and blah, 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 blah. Continuously, your mind goes into the future and worries about things. And all this future is simply thoughts. That's all it is. Thoughts. The past, your past is thoughts. That's all it is. And the future is thoughts. Whatever it is. Whether you want something, whether you're trying to manifest something, whatever, manifesting, what is manifesting? Well, I'm going to be manifesting a new lover. I'm going to manifest my soulmate. I'm going to be manifesting a job. I'm going to be manifesting money. I'm going to be manifesting world peace. Whatever that is. What is manifesting? You are thinking of something. You're visualizing of something that is not here, that you're hoping to happen. So it's thoughts again. So you're caught into this manifesting thing, which is another word to get your mind, to get you stuck into this world of thoughts. And it takes you out of here. It takes you away from the juice. Because the juice, the bliss of your life only is happening here in this moment. And if you're not experiencing the bliss, it's simply because you're not here. You're somewhere else. Because if you're here, connected to your divine self, you will be experiencing the bliss. You will be experiencing the divine bliss. As simple as that. And when you do the meditation and you do it correctly, if you're successful in your meditation, then you fall back to yourself. You come back here to the center of yourself. You touch your own center. And when you come back to yourself, to your own center, everything is quiet. Here, at your own center, there's nothing going on. It's very still. Stillness is within yourself. It's very still. You're putting your hands together, or you're doing it like this. You come back within. I'll give you another example to make it simple. Imagine that inside you, there is a rod, there is a column. You know, all these buildings, you go to ancient Rome or Greece, and you see these ancient buildings, these colosseums. And there you see all these columns, white, beautiful columns, that this building is built on it, is being held by a column. Hundreds of them, that the structure is built so they can hold the next level, a column. Now imagine that inside you, there's a column running through you, like your spine, your spinal cord. If they take our spinal cord out of us, what happens? You fall. There's no way you can stand and sit straight if you don't have a spinal cord in your body. It's because of your spinal cord that you're standing straight. Otherwise, you have nothing to lean against. You're a bunch of muscles and tissues, and you fall. So there is something running through you to hold you straight. So now imagine that there is a column running through you. Okay? So if you connect to it and you come back into the center, it's very still and it's not moving. Imagining that there's something inside you is your stillness. And you bring your attention to that. Now, I want you to really pay attention to this part because this is very important. What I'm going to share with you is very, very important for you, because if you get it, it's going to help you tremendously not to suffer in the future. If you understand this part that I'm sharing with you, it will help you avoid suffering. So when you learn how to be centered within yourself, you find stillness. Centeredness means that your attention comes and turns inwards towards yourself. And what is yourself? Yourself, you, is the one who is the observer. Your soul, your higher self, you, the one who is here, is observing, is still, is the observer, the observer. For example, I give you a visual example of it. The observer is here, observing. Now, what is the observer observing? If you're looking at the inner world, the observer, who's you, who's still, it's always like this. It's always here. It's observing what? It's observing your thoughts passing through. It's noticing the observer, who is you, the real you, okay? Is observing the thoughts. So when you do a course at Vipassana meditation, or you're doing mindfulness, they call it mindfulness, which I don't like that word at all, but that's what they call it. But you're observing your thoughts. How many of you have done that? Observing your thoughts. You're looking at your thoughts. Okay, right. So, how do you look at your thoughts? What does that mean? You're observing your thoughts, right? What does it mean? You are observing your thought patterns, right? Now, where are you that you're observing your thoughts? Where are you located? Where is your place? Where are you sitting? Where's your chair? Where are you sitting? Observing your thoughts passing through. You must be somewhere separated from your thoughts that you can observe them. Otherwise, how can you observe your thoughts? They must be separated from you. Otherwise, how can you see it? Let me ask you something. Can you look at your own forehead without a mirror? Can you see your own face without, if you don't have a mirror, how do you see your own face? If there was no mirror in the world, how do you see your own face? I'm not talking about looking at a pond, a body of water. But if there is no mirror, how can you see your face? You can never see it, right? It's impossible. You can touch it, but you can't see your own face. There has to be something mirroring you back. But you can see your thoughts. You can observe your thoughts. And if you can observe your thoughts, then are you your thoughts? You cannot be your thoughts and observing your thoughts. Can you understand? If you were your thinking mind, then you would never be able to be aware of it. It would have been impossible. So you cannot be your thinking mind and be aware of it. Therefore, you're not your thinking mind, that you can observe your thoughts. Similarly, your emotions, your feelings, you say, my feelings, my feelings. I'm so hurt, Zarathustra. I am so upset. I'm so depressed. I'm so angry at the world. Look what they're doing to the animals. Look what they're doing to our lakes and rivers, and they're dumping all this shit into the lakes, and they're treating the animals so badly, and they're treating humans so badly. My feelings are so hurt. I'm so angry. How do you know you're angry? How are you aware that you're angry? How are you aware that you're happy? So you're observing your emotions come and your emotions go. So you can observe them too. They come and go because they're not there all the time. They pass through you. So who is it that is not coming and going? Somebody's here, is not coming and it's not going. And that is you. You're here. You're still the observer. The real you is stillness. It's that column. And is here. It's not coming. It's not going. And it's aware of what comes and goes. It sees movements. Now, what I want to share with you is that the more you keep your attention on you, the observer, the watcher, the witness, not on what is being witnessed, not what your thoughts, they come and go, not on your emotions, they come and go, they're up, they're down, they're up and down, not on what you feel, but the fact of the one who has the ability to know the feelings, not what the feelings are, but the one who has the ability to know the feelings. You bring your attention to that one. The more you do that, the less you react in life. Your reactions subsidize. Now, you can do a practice. Let's say you're living with your partner, okay? And I mean, I'm using different examples. So, and this happens all the time. Let's say, whatever, somebody comes and tells you, somebody, okay? And it's either on the street, you're driving, you have a problem with someone driving, somebody pulls in front of you, or you're in a subway and somebody bumps against you, or you're working for somebody, your boss or your employee, somebody tells you something, somebody tells you you're an asshole, okay? Hey, you're an asshole, or they say something to you, okay? And you keep your attention on your stillness, on yourself, and you don't react. Somebody says something to you, and you don't react. You stay still, you stay calm, and you don't react to what's been thrown at you. You stay calm. You stay still. Then the next thing happens, and you go to see your doctor and you do some examinations. And then they contact you a week after and they tell you, you know what? We diagnosed that you have a brain tumor and you need to come back and we want to re-examine you, right? Typically, what does the person do? They freak out, you know? And let's say here, you're here, and the day before this, you know, you got a great job, it's going to pay you a lot of money, and things look very promising to you. You're very happy, and you're really happy. You're here, and everything's great, and you're cheering, hooray, wow, wow. And then the next day you get this message that your examination came, and you have a brain tumor. So now, like a pendulum, you know pendulums? Pendulum swing. Now, from being very happy, you're swinging to be very depressed. Well, they said you have a brain tumor. They're not saying that you're going to die or if it's cancerous. But they just said that we discovered you have a brain tumor. Now, from here, you're going to swing to this other side. So from extreme happiness, now you're going to be very depressed because you feel like your life ended, right? When you start to do the practice and you discover stillness, so you are still, and you get these news that you're going to be getting this job and you're going to be making a lot of money and you're going to be very famous and you're going to blah, 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 you don't really react to it. You're still, oh, okay, that's great, wonderful. Yeah, I'm really happy, it's great. But you don't have an extreme. And then the next day you get this news that you have brain tumor, and again, you stay in your center. You connect to your center. They give you the news, you got a brain tumor, and you need to come in. We think it may be cancerous. You need to come in, and you're not reacting to that either. You're still staying like the Buddha. You're like this. You're like this to the great news, and you're like this to the bad news. You are staying in your center. And then you go for your examination. They re-examine you. They take another MRI and they take some blood tests and everything. Okay? And you didn't react to it. You don't come home and sit and call your mom. Oh, mom, I got a brain tumor. Oh my God, I'm going to die. And calling your friends and you're freaking out. Because that's what normally people do. Or they get very sad, or they go sit down and start boozing, or they think their life is over and it's all finished and they feel miserable. No, you stay in your center. You've been practicing staying centered to good news or bad news. To somebody come and tell you like, you did this wrong, you're ugly, you're an asshole, you're a failure, and you don't react to it. You stay in your center. And somebody else comes and says, oh, you know what? You're the best thing in the world, and you're amazing, and you're so talented, and you're a genius. Again, you stay in your center. You say thank you, but you don't go anywhere with it. In your head, you don't go anywhere. I'm not talking about being a robot. and not having emotions or not having feelings, not getting happy or not getting sad. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about inside, you don't make any stories of it. Inside, you remain centered. That's what I'm talking about. You're non-reactive to the great news and the bad news. You have learned to live in meditation. You're still. So now we continue the story. You go to the hospital, to your doctor, they do examinations, and you learn to be the Buddha. Okay? Like what you did, Hilde Evenstad, after the healing training programs, and you've been with me for 4 years, the last time you went to the hospital and everybody was amazed because you were still. You did not react to them telling you your life's going to end in 3 weeks or 3 months, or whatever story they told you, you stayed in silence. You didn't react to it. You stayed the master. Don't react to the great news. Don't react to the bad news. You remain in your center. You don't buy the story. You stay in your center because you recognize that you're very happy when you are in your center, and your happiness is not coming from the news you get in the world or from anybody else. Nobody in this world can make me happy or make me miserable, because happiness and misery is not coming from anybody. It's here. If I discover who I am, which my nature is love and silence, then no one can make me happy or sad, because I know who I am. I have discovered the truth of who I am, and who I am is free. Who I am cannot be touched. Who I am cannot be decreased or increased. Who I am is always silence, is always love, and it's always still. So you can take everything away from me physically, and I'm still myself. And you can give me the world, and I'm still myself. You understand what I'm saying? You're getting a good idea. Now, you go back to the hospital and they do examination, and it looks like everything looks really bad, you know? Oh my God. In your head, your mind is going crazy. You're coming home, you're telling your partner, you're thinking about writing your will because you're probably gonna die very soon. And now you don't even enjoy having a glass of wine, or you don't enjoy to go for a walk, or you're already gloomy. Life is over. And then they call you a week after and they say, you know what? We're so sorry. We made a mistake. That result wasn't your result. It was somebody else's. Their name looks like yours, and we made a mistake. There is nothing wrong with you. So you went from very happy to very depressed, and now you find out nothing is going on. But when you're still, you don't react to any of it. The same thing. You may be in a relationship, and you know, your partner will all of a sudden will come to you out of nowhere and tells you, and what I'm telling you, you can look at this. It happens every day in our daily lives, almost every day in different ways and different degrees, you know. But practice this. I would like you to practice this for a while and examine this for yourself. The non-reactive place. You stay in your center. And okay, your partner will come and tell you, you know what? I don't feel like I love you anymore. And I want us to separate. Okay? And you're in this place because you discovered your stillness. You're still. You're non-reactive. And you say, you know, you may be asking them why, you know, what's the reason, you know, because you hooked up with somebody else or blah, blah, blah. And they say, oh, no, I'm not hooked up with anyone. I just don't feel it with you anymore. And you're just like connected to yourself. And you say, okay, fine. That's one way. The other way, what do most people do? They start throwing a fit and they're angry and they're screaming and they're calling their partners names and all these ugly stuff comes and they're throwing dishes and breaking things or taking the person's clothes and throwing them on the street or beating them or getting in a fight and some big drama. That's the norm that we have seen that happen around us, or we've done it ourselves, or we've seen it with our family or friends or whatever. And then like 2-3 weeks goes by and the partner comes back and says, oh honey, I'm so sorry. No, I made a mistake. I don't know what I was thinking about. I was just hypnotized. I'm so stupid. Honey, I really love you. I want you back and blah, 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 blah. But what I'm saying is that I would like you to start practicing to stay in your center and connect to your center. And no matter what happens, extreme good news or bad news comes, and you keep staying in your center and you keep not reacting to things. And the same thing with the world affairs. All of a sudden, they're going to come up with all these news, and this is happening, that is happening, and blah, 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 blah. Stay in your center. Do not react. Practice this. Practice centeredness. And you will be amazed as you do this regularly. You get more established in your own center and you less react to the world, the world outside of you, the other world, and the inner world. And as you react less to it, life becomes better and better and easier, less suffering. You don't suffer anymore because you have discovered your inner peace, inner stillness. And no matter what is going on, you always fall back to yourself because the world outside of you is always going to be challenging you, always going to throw at you something. Something is not going to go your way. Always. Something's not going your way. That happens all the time. Maybe for a while, everything's going your way, and all of a sudden, things starting to go the other way. And what do people do? They become a victim. Why me? Why is this happening to me? What does this mean? I got a parking ticket, and then I come here, and I was promised something by my friend and now they lied to me and I'm not getting it. And someone's cheating me and da 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 da. Why me? It's happening to me. But when you learn to stay in your center and you're connecting to this place, you're practicing your power. You're practicing being a Buddha. Do you think if Buddha's wife came to him and told him, I don't love you anymore, I'm going with someone else, the Buddha is very centered. Is not going to get out of his center. It stays right there. And that's what I like you to practice. Staying centered. Centeredness. And the more you do that, the more you come to your power. You feel the power. And when I say power, I'm not talking about power over other people. I'm talking about discovering inner peace. Because you realize that nothing can throw you off. Nothing in the world has the power to throw you off. Nothing in the world has the power to scare you. Nothing. There is actually nothing to be afraid of. In the entire universe, there's nothing to be afraid of. Nothing. The worst thing in the universe has no effect or power over a person who's awakened. A person who has awakened to themselves. Nothing has any power over it or can strike fear in your heart. Because you know who you are. And you're fully connected to yourself, to your divine self. And everything else will bow at it. Everything will bow at your feet. When you're in your own center, when you know who you are, and you're staying still, in the face of the worst thing in the world, you're staying in your stillness. And nothing can touch you. Nothing. Because in that moment, you are completely connected to the universe and your divine being. And that's the power you have. That's the power you have inherited. But since you think you are a person, you're separated from the source. You're an individual separated from the entire thing. Then you become fearful and you become small. And you suffer. And you become helpless. Because you forgot your true identity. You don't know who you are anymore. You think you are a person. Somebody separated from the source. Then you're in trouble. Now I'm going to give you another example. There's this. Have you heard about nirvana and samsara? Nirvana, how many people have heard of nirvana? Yeah? Nirvana is where the spiritual seeker wants to get to. It's attainment of the final realization. It's the oneness with God, arriving in heaven. Nirvana. And samsara in Sanskrit is the world. Samsara is the world, illusory world. the world that we're in and we suffer. So the student comes to the master and says, Master, you know, how can I attain nirvana? How can I attain enlightenment? How can I be free? And the master says, okay, you know, I will teach you. I will help you how you do that. Few months go by, and the master and the disciple, they're traveling, and it's a hot afternoon, and the master, you know, they arrive by a river, and the master tells the student that I'm tired, I want to rest. And he sits and is leaning against a tree, and the river is like 10 meters away. And the master tells the student, here, gives him a pitcher and says, okay, take this pitcher and go and get me some water and bring me some water, I'm thirsty. And the student, the disciple, obeys the master, and he goes there to the river, and, you know, he puts the pitcher. This is old days. The rivers weren't polluted, so you could drink the water. So he goes there and puts the pitcher in the water and is about to fill up the pitcher. And he's doing that. He brings his head up and he sees this beautiful, gorgeous girl, and shiny with these amazing eyes, is also there, walks by and is catching some water, and he's just like love in a first sight. He's completely in love with her. It's like he saw the most beautiful thing he's ever seen in his life. And, you know, his pitcher is in the water, the head is up, he's hypnotized by the girl. And he asks the girl, and he says, oh my God, you're the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. I want to marry you. Will you marry me? And the girl says, yes, I would marry you, but you have to go ask my father. And he says, I'll do anything. So then he goes and talks to the father, and, you know, in the village, and the father was the owner of the entire village, and talks to the father and says, you know, I'm a graduate and I studied psychology and I've studied philosophy and I'm a geologist and I'm in engineering and blah, 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 and da, 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 da. He's got all these education and I speak 5 languages and I want to marry your daughter. I promise I provide a very good life. And the father says, okay, I will agree on you marrying my daughter, but there's a condition. And that condition is that you're to live here in this village with my daughter, and after I die and her mother dies, you and my daughter will own this village. Everything will be yours and you look after it. But the condition is you need to stay here. And the boy is just so much in love with this girl that he says, yes, I agree, I will live here. So anyway, he marries the girl, and then they're having the first baby, and they have their first child, and 2 years after that, they're having a third child, and a few years after that, they have the third child. And they've been living there now. By now, 10, 12 years is going by. The father dies, and the mother dies, and now this guy owns the whole village and is looking after the farms and everything, and he's very happy with his decision, and they're living there. Now the rain starts, there's an unusual year, and there's a lot of water, and flooding starts to happen, and the river is really rising up. And as the river is rising up, it starts to take over all the farms, and it destroys the entire farmland. And it's raising higher and higher, and it's destroying all the homes, taking over the homes. And the water starts to rise, and it's coming to his house and his area, and the water is getting into the house. And there's one day that they're trying to escape, and they want to cross the river and go to the other side. And he's having one kid on this arm, and he's holding his wife's hand, and the wife is holding the hands of the other children, and they're trying to find their way to the other side and escape. And the current is getting stronger and stronger. So the wife, she loses the grip of one of the children, and the water takes the child, and he's struggling and he's trying to grab the child and he's losing the other child. And as that is happening, the water gets so strong and he loses the wife too. And all of a sudden, the river takes his children and his wife away, and they all get drowned and die. And he manages to get himself to the shore, and is just sitting there and being so miserable, and is just is like in such a deep sadness that he has lost his family, and he's lost his beautiful wife, and he's lost the entire farm, and he's lost his home, and everything is gone. And he's in this deep, deep sorrow and sadness, and wondering how in the world he lost everything. And he's at this place, the master is tapping on his back. Tick, 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 tick. And he's saying, "What are you doing? I've been waiting for you to fetch the water." And he's like, kind of like mesmerized and hypnotized. And he says, "What happened to my water? Bring my water." And you've been staring into the river for 5 minutes, and I'm waiting for you. And so anyway, he fetches the water, walks up to the master, and the master is there and is kind of laughing at him. And he says, "What happened?" And he's telling the story to the master, while the entire time he lived a life, 10, 15 years he lived, and really it was only maybe 5 minutes or less than 5 minutes. And then the master says, "This is what happens when you start thinking. And when you're thinking, you create time. And you create space. So you went into this world of thoughts, and you created time space. And in this time space, then you suffered. You went through deep, deep sorrow. So don't think. If you don't want to suffer, don't think. Don't go in the world of thoughts. Stay here. Come back here, in this place, in this moment. Don't go into these worlds of thoughts. And you get yourself into trouble because you create time and you create space. But when you come back into your own center, like right now here, right now in this moment, examine it for yourself. No thoughts means don't go in the past and don't go in the future. Right now, when you're here and you're not thinking, is there a problem? Look into it. I want you to examine it for yourself. Don't take my word for it. Examine it for yourself. You're here, right? Forget about your past. Put your past away. Put your past story away. Past is past. It's gone. It's a garbage bag that you threw it into the garbage. Don't go and open the garbage bag and eat from the garbage bag. Okay? Because that's what you've been doing all your life. Eating from your garbage bag. Okay, the past is gone. All right. Future is what? Thoughts. It's not here. So now come back here in this moment. Come back to your own center. And tell me, is there a problem right now? Right now, in this moment, do you have a problem? Don't attach a story to it, okay? A story is only thoughts. Your story, your life story, is only thoughts. Your life story. I heard your life story. I know your life story. I've heard it hundreds of times. Your life story. But where is it? Where is your life story? Show it to me. If you can put your hand in your pocket and pull out your life story and show it to me. Let me see your life story. I want to know where it is. Can you show me your life story? Where is it? It's just thoughts, isn't it? In your memory. And where is your future? Where is it? All the stuff. Can you show that to me? Can you bring it in front of me? It doesn't exist, does it? Is your mind projecting something into the future, but it's non-existing? So what do you have right now? You only have now. And in now, what is going on? Tell me what's happening right now. When you're here, what is happening? It's quiet, isn't it? You're in nirvana. When you're here, you put your story, nothing's going on. It's quiet. So stay here. Don't go anywhere. Stay in the juice. Drink the juice. The juice is always here. The juice of life is always happening here. It's not in the future. It's not that if I go lose some weight. It's not that if I go learn another language. It's not that if I make more money, I'll be happy. It's not that if I change my home and I have another apartment or house, I will be happy. No, it's here. Those winners of life, the Buddhas, they win because they're here. The moment you go outside of here, you're a loser. I don't care what your story is. You're a loser. You're not a winner. So practice centeredness. Practice to identify with the observer, the witness, yourself. And you hear, bad news comes. 5 minutes from now on, we finish. 10 minutes from now on, you walk out and somebody calls you or your best friend or your partner and tells you some rude words, okay? They speak rudely to you. And before you would get all angry and you want to kill and da-da-da-da, stay in this place. Don't react. Or if you react, react out of stillness, not out of emotions. You can still react, but your reaction is from being still, not from the mind. If you do react, because you're conscious, you're reacting consciously versus being a robot. And why do you think the world is such a mess? Why do you think all these religious wars happen? Millions of people went out there and killed each other because they react emotionally to some leaders pulling the trigger, sending millions of people to go to war because they're reacting. They're acting on impulse and their emotions. And they go out there and they fight a war. And then 10, 15 years after, they realize that war had no cause. And now they're disabled for life, but they fought for nothing. Nothing really came out of it. And we have been going through this the entire history of mankind because we're reacting like robots, not consciously. If you awaken, then you don't react out of your emotions. You react out of being still, stillness, and conscious. There is time to react. We're not saying that in life you don't react. You know? If somebody breaks into your house and wants to beat you up or rape your children or whatever, of course, you're to react and defend yourself. You're not going to sit there and say, oh, nam yo ho renya yo, nam yo ho renya yo, and not do anything. You do. You get up and you fight them. I understand. But you operate from stillness and your power rather than your emotions and being a robot. And that's what we have done in the past. And that brings suffering. We want to be free. So to be free is you have to recognize your stillness. You have to recognize the place inside yourself and connect to that and stay really still. So if your boss comes and says, you know what, you're a great employee, but I think we're going to have to fire 30 people because we don't have budget. So you may be one of the 30 people we may fire. And you're still and calm because you're connecting to your own stillness. So you don't react to this news. And then 2 days after, they say, oh no, we decided to keep you. So all of that reaction and getting upset and angry would have been for nothing. And that happens all the time. Existence puts you into this challenge. Almost every day you have the choice. Almost every day. Something will happen that can trigger you, and you will connect to your stillness and you won't react to it. And you will see the quality of your life will change very quickly. Okay? Anybody has any questions? No. So there won't be an academy next week because of my schedule. Shishi, after we hang up, I'm going to contact you because there's been some changes in my schedule. And okay. And I need to talk to you, okay? Right. And when I become really clear about my schedule here in Stockholm, which I'm going to have another meeting with Anna tomorrow. Let me see just 1 minute, because they had to change some of my events, the schedule, the time, the days, because of the location we're renting. So when I'm more clear tomorrow about where of these changes, then we can put it out and let you know when is going to be the next academy. For those of you who are joining me for the first time, this coming, we still have, I think we have one or two seats available for the healing training program in Motala, which is going to start on Thursday afternoon. And this healing training program, level 1 and 2, is going to be during the Easter holiday. So it's a small location, and we still have 1 or 2 spots available. There's a couple of messages came on the chat box. Let me check them out, and I want to answer these, and then we'll go on from there. Just bear with me. Oh, okay. Thank you, guys. It's just wishful messages. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Hi, Karen.
Hi.
Hi.
I really wanted to join your events in Stockholm and Motala, but it doesn't suit my schedule.
Okay.
So then I was thinking about maybe going to Warszawa, to Poland.
Yes.
But do you know if it's sure that it will be? Because I'm thinking about booking hotels and so on.
Yeah.
But are you sure if it will be?
Yes.
Huh?
Yeah, those events are I can double check, but it's solid. We're not, but I can check with my organizer. As far as I know, there hasn't been any changes.
Okay, because it's just fine for me to join there because it's in English, right?
Yes, I mean, I do speak in English, and there is a translator who translates to Polish, but okay. I do speak in English since I don't speak Polish.
Yeah.
And also we're doing Ore. I don't know if you're aware of it, that I have a retreat in Ore, and that's from July 2nd to 12th. And we're going to be there for 10 nights and 11 days. And I'm doing all 4 levels.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know about it. Of course, it's more expensive than just going to do 1 and 2. But just wanted to bring it to your attention.
Yeah, I have some plans.
Yeah.
But yeah, I will find out.
Right. And I don't know if I have your email or not, but if you want to,
maybe I can write to you.
Okay, right? Can you write to info@fifthhealing.com?
Yeah.
You have our email?
Yeah, I will find that.
Okay. If you write to me, and then I'm going to double check. I know almost 99% because everything is solid with my organizer in Poland, because we have planned everything from 4 months ago. And if there was any changes, he would have let me know, because he's very on top of everything. So I can tell you almost, it's for sure, but I can double check just in case if you would like.
Yeah, but I'll write to you.
Okay, please do. Yeah, we would love to have you there. That would be wonderful. Okay. All right. Well, it's nice to see you all. And stay tuned and check on my website, Zarathustra.tv. I got a bunch of events here in Stockholm. And after Motala, I do have a free event April 5th that is open to everybody, and that's going to be in Scandic Malmö in Södermalm. And any of you would like to attend, you're welcome to come. And then after that, we have the Harmony Messa, which is on the 7th or 8th. And if you want to connect, you're welcome to come and join me there. I have 4 events at the Harmony Messa. So I look forward to seeing you. Christina, when I get a chance, I will call you too and say hello to you. Okay? All right. Okie dokie. Nice meeting you all. So check on my website or stay tuned. We'll send you an email as well as we put it up on Facebook as soon as I'm more clear about my schedule of events here in Sweden. But for sure, next week we're not having an academy because I know that Anna has already booked me. So there is events happening. But if there's any changes, we'll put it out. Nice seeing you all. God bless you. And I look forward to seeing you again.